What if the moment we've imagined for centuries, the one that defines humanity's place in the universe, arrived quietly without warning? A simple pattern drifting through the cosmic noise, whispering that we're not alone. It begins at dawn in Australia. A faint rhythm courses through cold radio channels at the park's observatory. A pattern too structured to be a star, too deliberate to be random. Within minutes, the telescopes pick it up from Japan, South Africa, Chile. What began as a faint flicker turns into confirmation. This signal isn't natural, it's repeating in prime numbers. Someone or something is. The astronomers follow protocol. Data secured, messages quietly exchanged. 6 minutes later, the world's first Class A candidate signal in known history is flagged. Yet the humans behind those screens hesitate, because if it's real, everything we believe about isolation, divinity, and the uniqueness shatters in an instant. But secrets, as we know, don't survive the digital age. A screenshot is leaked online. Spectrograms, waveform data, cryptic logs. Within an hour, the internet ignites with memes, news alerts, panic threads, live stream debates. Words like contact and confirmation ripple through timelines faster than any official statement can form. Governments scramble. Analysts double check equipment. The United States activates its deep space monitoring programs. China redirects telescopes, and Russia demands access to protected data streams. Through the confusion, one fact emerges: the signal's authenticity can't be denied. No meteor, no satellite, no glitch. Intelligent, precise, intentional. As the sun rises over Earth, something fundamental changes. We are no longer a species wondering if we're alone. We're a species awaiting an answer. The scientific community buzzes with disbelief and reverence. The religious world fractures, some calling it a divine revelation, others warning of deception. Stock markets plummet, gold spikes, and the phrase prime sequence contact trends worldwide. The rhythm continues. Every 42 seconds, a pulse, and every pulse sends the same message to humanity: we hear you. In Washington, D.C., security briefings multiply. The president is informed before breakfast. Agencies lock down communications hubs. The Pentagon quietly activates the emergency psychological containment plan that's been collecting dust since the 1970s. Across the ocean, Europe forms a contact response council. In Beijing, a directive forbids public discussion of the signal until confirmed through state approved verification. Yet, for all the secrecy, the world's population already knows. Billions watch their phones for updates, eyes wide, waiting for the next transmission. By lunchtime, the rhythm changes, compressing, quickening. The pattern evolves, becoming structured, mathematical, and then something else entirely, almost melodic. There's a moment somewhere between disbelief and awe when humanity holds its collective breath. The signal feels alive, responding, adapting. For some, it's hope, proof that intelligence exists beyond us, proof that maybe we're part of something larger. And for others, it's existential terror. If they can reach us, what else can they do? Religious leaders call for unity. Politicians call for restraint. The rest of us sit and stare at glowing screens, counting prime numbers, wondering how fragile our species truly is. After 30 hours of observation, scientists discover coordinates hidden inside that signal. Not celestial ones, but earthly. They point to the Sahara Desert, a barren stretch of sand near the Egyptian border, vast, empty, untouched. The signal stops at 3:14. Silence. Then, seismic sensors in northern Africa record an anomalous vibration. It's steady, rhythmic, perfectly in sync with the final pulse. Satellites photograph an impossible geometry etched into the sand. A ring glowing faintly under infrared, smooth, metallic, it's hovering. While news outlets scramble for footage, governments seal the area. The official story is atmospheric interference. The unofficial reality is something is there, and it's waiting. The leak detonates like a bomb. Aliens have landed, screams one headline. Hoax, declares another. Armies mobilize under the guise of equipment recovery operations. The UN calls an emergency session. Half the planet is praying, the other half demands answers. For the first time in human history, we agree on one thing. Something extraordinary has found us. Satellite footage later confirms what eyewitnesses already whispered. A disk, metallic and seamless, resting on air itself. No exhaust, no heat, no entry blast marks. It simply exists, defying every physical model we know. Observers describe a strange harmonic vibration emanating from it. It's too deep to hear, but powerful enough to be felt inside the base of our own spine. Around it, birds are vanishing, electronic signals fail, drones fall from the sky as if repelled from unseen fields. Then a ripple of energy sweeps outward, and every sensor within 1,000 kilometers shuts down. Just before the blackout, a signal transmission bursts through, bounces off a military satellite, and caught by sheer accident, 3 words appear on a screen. We await transmission. The question now isn't whether they're real, it's what to do. Do we answer? On one side, scientists insist communication is humanity's destiny. Refusing to respond would be cosmic arrogance. On the other, strategists argue silence is safety. We don't know their motives, their morality, their limits. And so, humanity freezes between fear and curiosity. A species defined by both. The world watches as leaders negotiate a unified response, perhaps the first true collaboration of all human nations. A single message is drafted, refined, encoded in mathematical constants, and a radio pulse is being sent. The reply. For 60 seconds, humanity speaks. The message races into the void, carried by invisible energy towards the stars. Then, nothing. Minutes stretch to hours. The world exhales, uncertain whether we've done the right thing. News feeds quiet, networks stabilize. And then, at exactly 1903, every screen from phone to satellite freezes. 10 seconds passed, silent as an eternity. When systems return, a new image glows on every display. The same pattern, the same coordinates, the same symbol as before. But now, the words beneath are written in hundreds of languages. Observation complete. Phase 2 ready. Below the text, a countdown begins from 100. Every firewall, every satellite system, every control hub tries to stop it. Hackers, governments, and even AI containment networks battle what has no source. The countdown continues relentlessly across every language, culture, and platform, unified in dread. And at zero, nothing. The world doesn't end, the air doesn't change, but the telescopes erupt with noise. A new wave of frequency energy bursts outward, not from the Teu Ceti, not from somewhere beyond, but from us. Earth has become that beacon. We're transmitting an automated mirror of the first signal, amplified by every global network. Whatever they began, we're now continuing. Days pass, weeks. Governments deny involvement. The object in the Sahara remains silent. Economies teeter. Philosophies rebuild. News anchors call it the pause, humanity's first simultaneous stillness. For once, we exist as one species facing one fact. The unknown has answered, and we answered back. But as months fade, the world begins to change subtly. Attitudes shift. Nations speak cleaner languages of collaboration. Fear no longer divides but unites. Art flourishes in ways unseen since the Renaissance. Across the globe, humanity seems lighter, further from its endless wars. Maybe that's the point. Maybe this was phase two. Then, without warning, the object dissolves quietly, peacefully into vapor. Beneath it, a perfect glass-like disk revealed in the sand, etched with thousands of tiny patterns, mathematical spirals, prime number chains, and genetic codes. The codes, when studied, reveal sequences similar to human DNA, but altered, evolved, branching into hundreds of variations. Interpretations flood in. Scientists realize each sequence represents what we could have been. Evolutionary forks never taken, humanity's unrealized forms mapped out by intelligence beyond us. The message decoded but devastating: we are the only one version of what life could look like. Religions splinter again, some proclaiming divine design, others renouncing it entirely. Movements rise, the listeners eager for more contact, and the guardians demanding silence forever. Philosophers redefine what it means to be human. Poets resurrect the old languages of wonder. Technology accelerates towards the stars. We stop trying to conquer the earth and start imagining how to meet the universe halfway. But beneath progress lies a growing suspicion. Did we make contact, or were we the experiment all along? No one can answer. The object left no trace of origin, no material residue, just data, and the feeling that every step we take from now on might be observed from afar. If this really happened, if tonight the stars pulsed and a message came through, who would we become? Heroes of discovery? Architects of our own extinction? Contact, in truth, is less about them than it is about us. Our fears, our hunger, our endless search for meaning, the cosmos only are held up by the mirror. Would we unite or would we fracture? Would we hide behind silence or would we speak boldly into the eternity? Perhaps that's what is waiting. That is why they're waiting for so long. Waiting not for humanity to hear, but to be ready to be listened to. When they finally call, it won't be a roar of an invasion or a whisper of peace. It will be the sound of us reflected back through that void, a message millions of years in the making, asking one ancient question. Now that you know, who are you?